I think it's all gonna shake up post Chicago.
We got lots of drama,
We'll
people.
see.
Lots of drama.
We got a lot of pissed off people.
Oh man.
Tension is high on tour for the fans, for the players. Everyone's going through it.
I think
only
happy
the strong
people
will
right now
survive.
Are Miles and Andy and everyone in Montreal.
Yeah, right.
And Kristen and Taryn.
Kristen and Taryn.
Yes.
Everyone else is getting out the pitchforks and torches.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe Brandy and Mel are doing all right.
Brandy and Mel are doing all right. Yeah, they're happy. They played. I saw Mel's Instagram post today. They played like 13 matches in 8 days.
Oh my gosh.
One being international, and then one in Atlanta. I feel like every match in Atlanta counts as double. Just watching,
So hot.
It looked hot.
It was hot.
And I like those though. I've never played in Atlanta, but I like the hot matches because, like Jose always told you, bad for them.
Yeah.
Or bad for us, worse for them.
Right.
Yeah.
They're fun tests.
Yeah.
But
100%. I usually love it and think of it that way, and then this time I was like, what's wrong with me? Something, the 5 weeks or the stress or something. I was just like, damn, I don't feel like I'm that next level of in shape at this current moment.
Yeah.
I also didn't get my medicine
yeah.
for a long
How long
time.
can you go without that? Is 5 weeks pretty much the limit?
We don't know.
You're still here.
Yeah.
So 5 weeks is good.
No, we do every 4 weeks, but yeah. No, I'm joking. It's a grind to end it on that kind of heat and that kind of matches was heavy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot. And I mean, you played 5 tournaments in a row: Espino, Hermosa, Edmonton, Montreal, Atlanta.
Hardly Montreal. But it's funny, like with all the warm-ups and the preps and stuff, even if you don't go deep in the tournament,
Still feels
because
like
I keep being like, dude, what? I only played one match.
Yeah.
But it's like, it still gets you.
the
Yeah,
travel and
travel.
still-
The whole thing.
For
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
And then you did Espino.
I did Denver, Hermosa, Espino, Edmonton, which I didn't qualify for, but same thing, time change, travel. We actually came home in between Espino and Edmonton, which is a lot, and then booked a flight to Montreal because a team said they weren't going to go, and then they decided they were going to stay and play.
Oh, they double dipped on you.
Yeah.
Oh, tough.
Toledo and Thamela. They really just
gotcha.
did us dirty. Yeah.
Wow.
And they didn't tell you that they were going back?
No, they did, which was
Okay,
nice.
that's good.
The day before, you have to be there Tuesday, so Monday. We reached out and we were up to 1 on the reserve, and they're like, "Yeah, we're not going to play." So flights booked for the next morning to get there on time to check in, and then that evening they said they were going to stay. So we're on the phone all night trying to get because I use points because the flights the flights went up like a crazy amount, so we used points, and that was worth it to because even playing in an elite qualifier, I think we would have gained points because we just blew all of our points. So that was definitely a bummer. And then we went to New Orleans actually to train before Atlanta, and that was like, I think the real feel in Atlanta, the highest real feel was like 105, 106, with like the real temp being 95 or 96. In New Orleans, I went to Baton Rouge. I trained at LSU one day, and the real feel was 120 degrees.
Holy.
So we actually came into it kind of like,
Good to go.
it was hot for sure, but it was like bearable in comparison to, we were out training with Joey and stuff, and it was like, my brain is melting.
Yeah.
We were training at like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, right in the thick of it. That's why we went out there. It was miserable, but it was good prep. So I wish we would have gone longer because I think we actually would have been okay. But yeah, so it was almost 6 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
not quite.
And you did all right in Atlanta. 9th.
Took a 9th. Yeah,
Okay.
I was bummed to lose that game, and like I feel like we didn't really show up. And then I watched how Pavin and Gina did against Curran and Sara, I think it was as well. I mean, they were like smashing people. So I was like,
It's a good
makes
team.
you feel a little less bad.
Yeah.
Gina played great. Pavin was like Pavin, and it was kind of just unfortunate.
Yeah. Sandy Chirango loves Atlanta. She does well there.
Thrives.
Won there last year.
And she was on the left too, like crushing. So no, I'm happy for her. Good for them, and that's a solid new pair to look out for the rest of the Gold Series events. Yeah, they did well.
Speaking of new pairs for Gold Series events, double defender.
Hey,
Me and Z
the Bruins.
Back to the UCLA days.
Chicago.
Something's brewing.
I know. We'll see. We were already scheming. I was talking to Ev about like certain defensive strategies because we played Manhattan 2021 together. I mean, you can split block in college and get away with pulling a ton, but we played against Julia and Haley were partners. We played Delaney. We lost to Delaney and Brooke.
Yeah.
And we had such a hard time blocking. Like our blocks were terrible. Like we couldn't figure out the blocking defending thing, and so we're trying to scheme like.
But you were so.
couple things.
That's a great matchup to play Brooke though.
Yeah.
Because Brooke is so shooty, and you
So
guys
shooty.
that match was like a 2-hour match.
Oh yeah, it was a grind. It was a grind. It was like
early.
early Saturday morning elimination match, and it was like a long 3-setter. We had no practice, so at least we're practicing a little bit this week, and then a little bit after Manhattan. We'll see. I mean, we're both kind of in the mood to just go have fun and wear some cute bikinis and upset a couple teams. You know, we're just thinking of all different kinds of ways to. I don't know. Do we run up do we block every time? Maybe we play 2-back defense a little bit. We're gonna scheme up some stuff and just depending on like who we play.
Figure out the bikinis first.
Yeah,
that's
priorities,
number one.
right?
That's number one.
Bikinis and morale.
I was thinking that. I was like,
Zana's, you know.
I wonder how much time the girls put into like figuring out what to wear versus the guys.
Just depends. I
It's
think
got to be a big ratio.
Literally, the guys are like sponsored or something, you know. So
Yeah.
some dudes like are trying to like make little statements here and there, but
Yeah.
for me it's zero.
Yeah.
Like we don't even think about it.
Are you superstitious with
black
your
or
shorts?
white or? I can be a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like if it's working, let's just stick with these kind of thing. If you play a really good match and your shorts are still a little wet, you're like, let's just wear them again.
Yeah. Because at some point, like, you got to make sure you're not using too much of the juju. So you're like,
Right.
all right, well, they were great today. I
Yeah.
had this pair of board shorts. This is 6-man slunks from last year. I qualified every time I wore them. Played really well in the main draw. I was never knocked out in those shorts, not once. And then this year, I wore them with Shachter. I was like, it's game over.
You
I'm
overwore 'em?
qualifying. And
Oh,
then we didn't qualify. So
luck
they're
ran
out
out.
of the starting lineup. They're back up. They're
Yeah.
good practice shorts now.
Yeah. They're working their way back into the mix.
I think for the girls, it's like the color combination as well. Like,
Yeah.
which bottoms can you wear? And like every team has different. Like when you're partnered up, you have your go-tos. Like me and Tony had like several that we would,
Right.
we'll wear a black top.
That's a
and-
lot of options. Though.
Yeah, because
and then
you
to
could go-
switch partner to be like with the Zana is like.
Well,
you
so
gotta
I
redo
actually
the
went. I didn't
wardrobe.
even tell her this. I went to Spider yesterday because I know that like her and Deanna would wear like a brown bikini, this like green and white one, and then this
Yeah.
flowery one, and all. So I don't know if like we'll just get new ones, but I actually just went out and bought a couple that I know that she has like the same color
right.
as, and I was like, we could just do that, and if not, then I just got a couple extra bikinis
Right.
just for fun. But
Right
Zana
off.
like loves it. Zana like is. She wins. She beats. Brandy and Mel are wearing really cute stuff too. That like Left
Yeah.
on Friday brand is like the one strap stuff, super cute. But Zana takes
Yes.
cake on all that stuff.
Yeah. She's
Oh,
been
she
winning.
kind of always has. But
I'm waiting for Z to
excited.
start her own line.
I know.
I think she would kill.
I think she would
Especially,
too.
I was looking the other day. She has like 120,000
Yeah.
Instagram followers.
So the video.
Oh, damn.
She had a video. She had like 50,000, I think. Like Frito and her collaborated on a couple of things during the Phoenix Championship last year, and they like went pretty viral.
Yeah.
And then this year during Huntington, she had a video with Deanna. It's literally like she pokes a ball over Pavin's block, and they win the game, and it's literally them cheering. No music, no nothing,
Yep.
and it has like 1 million likes or 1 million views or something ridiculous. And she just
See, I have two or three reels now that went.
the Balance
2 or
Beach one was
3.
insane in Phoenix.
I know, but I don't get followers. She went to 120,000. I'm like, if I can get 1,000 boost in like
Yeah.
a month,
Yeah,
that's good.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like
I think
amazing.
girls definitely do,
Yeah, you guys
tend
got
to
the
do a
cheat
little
code.
bit better.
You guys got
Yeah.
the cheat code.
But yeah, she like popped off, and she always she always posts. I think like I don't know, the garden stuff and the chicken stuff and the volleyball stuff.
Yeah,
it's all
just
very
good
interesting to people.
personality.
So I think that's all part of it. But
Totally.
Yeah, she crushes. She's
Yeah.
crushing life, honestly.
Yeah.
Happy for her.
Always rooting for you. I'm happy for you guys. That'll be
Thanks.
fun to
I'm
watch.
really
Like,
excited,
the Zon
for
effect's already here. You're wearing a dress.
We're in a
in the
dress.
studio, like,
We're in a
come on.
dress. You know, we're
Matching
branching
the
out.
couch.
We're branching out. I'm wearing a dress. I was wearing a little visor thing today. It looked like
Yeah.
a mom almost, but it's cute. Cute mom, I guess.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm fired up. It'll be super fun, and I think kind of just finish the season out and just we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Wait, who are you playing? Are you playing Manhattan with Tony? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, play Manhattan with Tony, and we'll see. I don't know. It's a less watered down,
It's wide open. Yeah.
women's field. I think the top team. I think Julie and Betsy are staying and playing.
Yeah.
Ooh, so wait,
everyone's good.
is 100% new first timers going to get on the pier?
Has Pavin won?
Mel and Pav won? Did they?
Yeah, I think they did
I thought Mel
actually.
and Pav won one year.
I think they did.
And Kelly's
but
one. Kelly's one.
They're not playing together, so
It'll be a new pair for sure.
Yeah,
right?
new pair.
a new pair and a new
well,
person.
at least one new person will get on the pier for the women.
Someone's getting on the pier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Men too.
Yeah.
New pair. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
Is there any team? No.
No, because
Yeah.
you and Trevor are like the only ones left who are on the pier right now.
Right.
Oh
Phil.
my gosh.
Phil.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's go do it, squad. Who are you playing with?
That would be fun.
You're in, right?
Yeah. I'm
Nice.
doing a little split blocky action with Jake Dietrich.
Nice.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like that.
Nice.
Yeah. And it was so
I feel
funny.
like we're gonna draw you again.
It'd be fun. We haven't played in a while. Last year was hilarious. We never played.
Was
and
it
like,
Fort
boom, boom,
Lauderdale?
boom,
It's the
boom.
only
Wait, didn't I
time.
play you this year? Did we not yet?
I don't think we played each
I
other.
played you
this
like 3 last year.
year. Yeah,
right?
we played Fort Lauderdale and then twice in Central Florida. We're only allowed to play in Florida.
We played twice in Central Florida.
Yeah, we played first round, and then we grinded all the way back to the quarters, and then we played you again.
We had a battle in the quarters, huh? Was that the one or the first one?
First one, we had a
First one was a
30-28.
battle.
Who were you with in Fort Lauderdale?
I was with Jam.
Jam.
With
Yeah.
Jam. That's
yeah,
right.
and then I was with Jam again in Central Florida. Yeah.
Okay.
It was so funny because I'm playing the Chicago qualifier with Jake Urtia, and I played the Norseca today with JM, and I'm playing Manhattan with Jake Dietrich.
You're
And so,
that guy.
so yesterday at practice, I was like, "Oh, Jake," because I was practicing with Jake because JM was still in Florida. I was like, "Oh, Jake, the draw for the Norseca changed." He's like, "I'm not playing with you tomorrow." I was like, "Oh, that's
You're
right."
like, oh, sorry. How do you even coordinate practice? Like, how do you
can't.
even?
Bjork's coaching me again for Manhattan.
Love
and
it.
he's like, "When can you guys get out this week?" I was like, "Well, I have to practice with Urtia
Wait,
this
is
week 'cause we
Bjork
got
here?
Chicago." Yeah.
I thought Bjork moved. Oh.
No, he's still in Hermosa.
I thought he was moving. I guess he didn't.
I think he
was?
he wants to get a spot in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Yeah, I thought he was
Like a little
going there.
facility. I think it's in the works.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But he was like, "When can we get you and Dietrich out for practice?" I was like, "Well, I need to play with Urtia because we have the Chicago qualifier
Yeah,
on Friday."
yeah, Friday.
And Bjork's like, "You guys."
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, well, I didn't put the Chicago qualifier in Huntington Beach 3 weeks before Chicago.
Yeah, what?
That was so interesting.
That's not my fault.
It's so
Yeah.
interesting.
And I'm not going to tell Dietrich to come play with me in the qualifier and he can be straight in with Chase.
No.
So,
There you go.
It's the way the sport goes. It's the way it be.
So we got some interesting questions.
oh yeah.
Yeah. How
we
many?
blast through
70 out of 100 or
We
something
had
like that.
more than 100 total questions.
Okay.
And more than 60 of them were about the AVP streaming.
Oh,
Let's clear the air. We have no control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, none of them were mad at us, but
Yeah.
I think a lot of...
I mean,
Oh,
you can be mad at
but
us.
we are like
Trust me.
an avenue of communication.
All right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
For them,
Fair.
a lot of us just want to know our thoughts.
That's
a lot of them just
That's
want to know our
almost
thoughts.
worth sending a direct note over to our favorite people over at AVP.
Yeah.
Just so you know,
Yeah.
this
Wait,
is what fans are saying.
Was it so
Yeah.
bad because of the weather, or was it bad all weekend? Like, or are just people pissed that it's on two different things?
That it's two different things,
Oh, and they didn't stream a
Totally.
couple games.
and then they didn't stream a couple games, which unlucky with the weather.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot that's really tough to control with that.
Is
But
it unlucky when there's a rainstorm, and then the next year, the exact same weekend, there's a rainstorm, and you put the tournament, and then the exact same. We're on year 4 now,
yeah,
and it's always rained out.
yeah. I think
So is that
Atlanta
unlucky at this
was
point?
like just everyone's tipping point, I think, because
Yes.
you had people were mad enough about ESPN Plus being on a paywall, which I don't.
Yeah.
To me, I don't think it's a problem that people should have to pay
No,
to watch a product. I think that's okay.
I don't think so either. But the international can't watch, even if they want to.
Yeah, and so
I heard from some Canadians that are just like so bummed because they're genuine fans, and it's
Right.
just like, oh, that really is lame.
yeah, I hear from a lot of people. A lot of Americans who moved overseas are like, I
Right.
can't watch the AVP.
Uh-huh.
wow.
So I don't think that's a huge issue. The paywall thing, like I'm okay with that. I think
Yeah,
it'd be
no.
really cool
You
if,
guys-
if the players
You guys can pay a little.
if
It's
the
okay.
players got like a percentage of all subscriptions that went into like a bonus pool, because like if we had a players committee, that's something I would have wanted us to push for, because then we're going to be now trying to push subscriptions. We get like a bonus pool of whatever, like 10% of all new subscribers.
I feel
whatever.
like Travis, leading a players union
Dude,
is going to
I
happen
think we
in the future.
need. I
Just
think
throwing it out
we
there.
should do that. Honestly, I mean,
Yeah,
there's
well,
so
you
many
need a leader.
things.
You need someone who's smart, gets
Yeah.
all this.
Gets the business
gets
side of it. Gets man of the
he's
people.
at the
He gets it.
He's in with the players.
I would.
What can relate.
I would follow.
feel
Blindly follow.
You
Yeah.
need someone.
And my playing days are winding down.
His playing days got to be winding.
Perfect candidate.
But so you had the ESPN Plus and the paywall. That's been like a consistent, like sort of irk among the fans all year, which I don't think that's a huge deal. Well, I forgot. Like I've had ESPN Plus for a long time, so I was like, oh, I forgot that people didn't just have it.
Well, also it's on. You can get it through like Hulu or something
Yeah.
too, right? Yeah.
But then you have like the Bally Live, which you can't watch replays.
Mm-hmm.
So if you either get it live or not. And I don't know. At first, it didn't work for Androids. It had like a lot of problems. So people are mad about you need ESPN and Bally Live. In Bally Live, you can't watch replays. People are mad about that. But then the triple whammy in Atlanta was that it was streamed on ESPN. It was televised nationally on ESPN2. So then, if you bought your ESPN Plus subscription, which the AVP initially advertised was where all the finals were going to be, well, you couldn't watch the finals because it was on ESPN2, which you need cable or YouTube TV or something.
Oh my god.
So then people were mad because
So you need
three
different. Yeah.
in one day, because you had
Yeah,
ESPN
12.
Plus for the semis on Stadium, you had Bally's on semis for Court 1, and then you
Yeah.
had ESPN 2 for the finals. So you needed three different things in a span of what is that,
Few hours.
six matches?
Yeah.
And like, I mean, you got to be a super fan to like be on top of all this.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
like,
That's.
And then on top of that, like and this is where, like, whether it's unfortunate, but the men's final got delayed, and so I watched the men's final FaceTiming Deanna Kraft,
who was there?
I remember
who
you
was
wrote
there
that. Yeah.
to watch Andy and Miles. And, like, I don't know if it would have broken contract for the AVP to, like, Instagram Live or you put on a stream on their own YouTube or something, but so that fans were displeased. I think Atlanta was
I
the
get
final
that.
straw.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I get it.
I mean, I think it's understandable, very understandable, and if there's a email to send to the AVP, let them know. We are happy to let them try to hear this episode, but other than that, there's not much we can do for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know some of the questions were like what we think of the streaming, and ESPN Plus is fine. The product is fine. Everyone keeps going back to, like, I think Amazon Prime really set the
It's
standard.
so good.
And it's interesting when you take a look back at perspective, like when you started commentating for the AVP, they were streaming on their Facebook page.
Yeah.
So when you look at that, it's come quite a long way,
Yeah.
even with the frustration of ESPN Plus and Bally's. But I think Amazon Prime set a standard
like the
that
OG broadcaster.
is difficult. Yeah, you are. I think that the Prime days set a difficult standard
Yeah.
for them to meet.
Yeah.
And
That was awesome, actually.
Amazon
'Cause
Prime
they
is
had
great.
like the studio after,
Yeah.
which to me was like, half the entertainment value. To
Yeah.
like, and it was good conversations, to have them, the winners in the booth and like joking around or pissed off or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
That was,
And Kevin
That's
Barnett was tremendous.
they were all great in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember, but it's so hard to please everyone because even during the Amazon Prime days, people, they get mad at the commentating and whatever.
Oh, of course.
So, but now that we see, where we've gone to, it's
Yeah.
like bring back Amazon Prime. And I don't know what the structure of the deal is with Amazon or what it is with ESPN and Bally's, but
We feel you, people. We feel you.
Yeah. I think it's
Yeah.
tough. Like I will say, as a player, that you can't go back and rewatch games either. So like if
Yeah,
someone's
that's
playing
really
on,
tough.
if I'm on court whatever, and someone else is on court 1 or 2, and I play the winner or the loser, we're playing at the same time. Typically, you can't go back and rewatch their game. Like we couldn't go back and watch Kraft Stockman beat Pavin Urango.
Right.
That would have maybe helped us a little bit see like
right.
what they did and what worked versus that's just as an athlete that's tough. From none of us, if when we're playing, like I'm not worried about the live stream because I'm worried about winning games, not worried about if my friends and family can watch. And my family makes a big effort to come out, but that is definitely tough just as a player that you can't go back and watch. And I feel for everyone struggling to watch at home. I remember when Evan was in Helsinki and the stream didn't work and I was losing my mind. I'm like, what is the score? Like, cause you care and you want to know what's going on. So it's it's definitely tough. I don't know if there's an alternative. I think it's a bummer we can't stream either. That may solve some problems sometimes. I don't really know how all the rights stuff work for that. But
Well, the AVP asked me to take down my matches from Hermosa.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's an interesting double standard, it seems, in policing, because there's like dozens of videos from Hermosa. I'm like, why are you coming to me? Like, we got less followers than.
was it just on your Instagram?
No, I put my match with the Taylors on YouTube,
Yeah.
and then I knew that we wouldn't be able to watch the replay of Kyle and Tim versus
So you
Dave and
filmed
Rafu.
them,
We
yeah.
played the loser of, so I filmed that. I was like, well, I have it. Might as well put it up. So I put those two up. And they told me to take it down, which is fine because it's probably a copyright thing anyway. So I was like, all right, cool. Like, it got its run.
It always blows my mind that you can't film yourself watching or playing.
Yeah. And
Like,
then
there should be something in there that's like, unless it's you.
right.
Like Olympics and all that stuff, you can't make any content off yourself.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, the Olympics, I mean, NBC pays a lot of money for those rights.
But they don't pay us. No, I'm just saying in general, like trust me, I know where the world's going. I'm hearing all this stuff about actors, but they're gonna use this AI to like create actors' faces and not pay them.
Oh my gosh.
But it is interesting.
Yeah. So it's also tough because volleyball TV is such a good product, and so now they're comparing that to the AVPs, and so I think it's a tough confluence of events.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone. We'll put in a good word.
You're on the roller.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're putting a word.
We'll put in a word.
You guys send your feedback too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always helpful.
Well,
Yeah. So we're happy to be your channel of communication till then.
There goes 70% of our questions. We will.
So we're about done here.
Well, let's just we'll finish chatting about Atlanta. Someone asked, how do you stop the Benesh Partain train? They played phenomenal, and so did Taryn and Kristen. They just ran through everyone too. I don't know if it's because they train in the heat all the time. I mean, that's definitely an advantage, but they crushed it as well. So 2 very dominant performances from those two. Not
It's
shocking.
interesting. I mean, obviously they're playing. Like when a team's on a roll, they're on a roll.
Yeah.
And they're on a roll at the highest level right now.
Yeah.
So they're just playing amazing. But like you were saying earlier, like I think the only teams that aren't stressed out are like those teams, you know. And when you get into the heat and those really stressful situations, I think that a lot of it comes down to that stress and whatnot. And it's funny because I was in that last match, I started the match and I was like, boom, I'm tired. It's like, what? And like, that pisses me off because the way that I think that I train, I shouldn't feel that way.
Yeah.
But I'm at the end of a road trip and whatnot. And I kept trying to like regulate my breath. I was like, I can't control my breath right now. Like, I just can't get it. And it was just pissing me off. And then I sucked the first set. We lost the first set. And then I switched to like, I don't think it's my breath that I need to focus on. I think it's my heart rate. Like I have this stress, this like anxiety that keeps my heart rate up, and therefore I can't get my breath. And when I shifted my focus to getting my heart rate down, it then helped me catch my breath. And then I started playing better. And then we won the second set, and then whatever.
Yeah.
But I was just, in general, my whole situation, you know, not playing the best we could be playing, you know, riding the highs and lows of the season, having a little bit below our standard season so far. It's just super stressful, especially with the standard that we've set for ourselves. And I think that those teams seem to be very light and happy right now. And when you play in those environments and they're not stressing through these challengers, or you know, they're riding high, and they just felt more light, and everyone's kind of stressing and burning more energy. And I was just like, these guys are going to smash whoever they play in the final, because everyone else looks like they're dying, and they're kind of just like, yeah, here to have fun. Like, it's all good, like house money kind of vibe. So that's kind of what I felt like happened there. I was like, this is kind of just built for them. They just kind of seem light, and obviously they're in their 20s. I don't know, maybe that's a thing too, but yeah. And that was the end of a really gnarly grind for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
And I think they had the most energy and like less stress.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a theory.
Yeah. Well, you're, 1-1 against them this year? You only played them in Huntington twice, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Won in the quarters, lost in the finals. Both went 3.
Yeah, and we I think we didn't play well. It wasn't like a defensive thing. It was more like passing, and like obviously they played well. But I think what they're doing is they're just playing defense at a higher clip. They're really in tune with each other, and then Andy's size is starting to really show through.
Yeah.
And Miles is just kind of a whiz back there. You could tell he's very like conducting himself in a way where he knows where he wants his block to be and where he knows he wants to be, and the timing of it is really good, which makes it so easy as a blocker. Not that, Andy's playing his best ball ever too, so it's just like the perfect storm for them, and I think they're just getting better. But in terms of stopping them, I don't know. I mean, just do it. Just gotta. There's so many roller coasters and highs and lows throughout the season, so if you catch them on their best day and you're off, you're gonna lose at this moment, but vice versa, and we'll see. Because time will tell.
Like we were talking about earlier, like their side out rate is good, but it is not exceptional.
Yeah, they're not like, wow, how do you stop these guys defensively?
Yeah,
it's more, how do you side out consistently?
Yeah, and I think that's the common trait that we see from all the best teams in the world. Because Sweden sides out good, but defensively they're one of the best in the world. Like Anders and Christian for years have sided out good. But it's that defensive pressure that you get, like even a 15-13 lead. Like we saw Andy and Miles had a 15-12 or 15-13 lead in the first set of the finals. And then they ended up losing like 21-17 because Anders just like got the timing.
It's that blocking. If you let a blocker get hot, even better than a defender, right? Like defender can dig a ball, but he's still got to transition.
Still transition,
You let a blocker get involved like that, game over.
Yeah.
And with a guy like Anders is like massive.
Yeah, so I feel like Andy and Miles are sort of following the blueprint of Sweden and Norway and all these other great teams where it's...
I feel like they've been watching them as well and like trying to build their game around similar to those teams.
Yeah, where it's like as long as you keep your offense good enough to hang in like 11-9, 11-8, 15-13. I've seen Andy and Miles go down 15-13 or 15-12 in more sets than not. And they'll win like 21-18 half the time.
I think they did that against Evan and Troy this weekend.
Yeah.
In Atlanta. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's like, I was watching that match and I was like, are you guys looking like using Atlanta as training? It looked like they were just sort of like experimenting with new stuff. And then they're like, oh, we should try now. And it was like, and good night.
They also just win tournaments and they're just like,
thanks.
Okay, I'll see you later.
It's like, what? I'd be on the floor crying. Like, I guess that's just the standard they have, but I mean, that's just when they beat you guys in Huntington,
I think that's just their personalities. Yeah. Because like Andy's been going at this for a while. Like, he was qualifier / back to the main draw guy for 5 years or something.
Yeah.
So like these wins got to mean a lot.
Yeah. Well,
I think it's just personality.
He celebrated like when they won in Stad. He lost it.
Yeah.
I mean, he like ran around victory lap to the crowd, and Miles is like, good night.
Back to work.
Yes. So, but I mean, in Atlanta, it's like the weird anticlimactic win.
That was so weird.
They won like 21-13, and it was like,
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no one's there either because of the delay and everything. It's like, oh, whatever.
That was weird.
Yeah. Weird vibes.
Yeah. So now it's kind of expected of them, I think.
Yeah, and
I
the
don't
girls.
think we answered the question, but
how you stop them? Don't know. I mean, just maintain your side out. Really, you'll earn your points. It's just a matter of keeping your side out high. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's figured out the perfect defense for this jump setting system yet.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Especially because Andy is getting so good at it now. When they first started, I commentated their first match in Itapema. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
You should put that away for a
well,
little.
the problem is like, yeah, exactly. No, it was ugly at first, but Miles is so smooth with it, right? His timing's so perfect with it that even if you're a little late, you're going against a 6'9" guy.
Yep.
So he hits over me, diving. What do you say again? Like,
too small,
little boy, or something. Like, oh, you're 6'9" and I'm late.
Yeah.
Like, because you have a perfect jump setter. So I'm like, yeah, it's a little tough.
And he does such a good job. Andy does not swing in the front
No, he
kind of
swings
5
deep.
meters of the court anymore. I mean,
He
it's
can
all
hit over
back line.
when you're squared up on him, for
Yeah.
sure. That's why when you have Miles, like the most deceiving jump setter.
He's
it's like,
so good at it. Like,
yeah, because he can actually like really start his like arm swing
Yeah.
to hit and then just flake it out.
Yeah. He'll like set it sometimes where he's almost back on the ground.
Yeah.
He just holds and holds and holds, and as soon as you stay,
yeah,
gone.
yeah.
Or he can just hit it.
Go.
Pop.
Pretty
Yeah.
quick.
Either way.
Yeah.
There's no. I don't think there's a tendency on which
Yeah,
way.
I need to work on my timing on it. Mine's all over. Sometimes it's really good. Sometimes it's really bad and like useless. But I'm seeing like if you just do a little jump, it holds the blocker for a split second,
Yep.
and you get your hitter like a block that's 6 inches smaller. It's
Yeah.
like, I guess I have to start doing this stupid jump setting
Yeah.
because they're onto something. It's
onto
clearly
something.
working.
It's working.
Even if I'm doing it like delayed, like people know that I'll hit it, you know,
Yeah.
or I'll even like slap it over on 2.
Yeah.
And I think it creates a lot of space for
Yeah. But it
my
works.
hitter.
It has to be, like Jose said, an organic part of your game. With you, it is
Yes.
because you option well.
Yeah.
You have a variety of options. And with the set that Kame takes, you can get that
Speed
little
him
hold. And then he has that, like, what he calls, like, what, out, or fast or whatever he says. But you just, like, throw that little, like, hut to him. And you just,
Yeah.
so it fits your
If
game.
the block's not there, I pick the speed. I'm just, you go hit this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, if Trevor and Theo start jump setting, it's not really
No,
a
100%.
part of their game. And they're doing all right without it.
No, 100%. But for me, it was, I also like I literally was trying to like sneak in jump setting, but I thought it was like a stupid thing to
Yeah.
do back in the day with Hayden.
Trick thing.
It's like, oh, look at this. This is fun. Look what I can do.
Yeah.
But I was like, didn't feel like I should do it or that it was smart
Mhm.
that often. I did it like maybe 2 or 3 times in events. And now I'm like, damn, I was like onto something back then. I just
Yeah.
needed to do it.
And then you have Taryn and Kristen,
Yeah.
who are as basic as can be
Yeah.
Mhm.
offensively, and it just works for them.
It just works.
I think
Yeah.
the girls side is obviously different. In the men's game, you have to definitely do a bit more, like experimenting defensively and doing the kind of. I mean, you don't have to do the jump setting stuff, but it definitely helps when you get playing against those huge blockers and stuff.
If you
but-
have the ability, it's kind of silly to not use it.
yeah. But then you have those two that just. I mean, Taryn's so physical and hits the gnarliest angles, and Kristen has every shot, so it's like they don't even
Yeah.
need to do anything.
And that's
special.
another team, like extending on what we were talking about with like Norway, Miles and Andy, Sweden, where like defense travels to every tournament. Like Kristen and Taryn, one of the best defensive teams in the world,
Yeah.
are top 5 every tournament.
Yeah.
And Patricia Duda, one of the best defensive teams. Mel and Brandy, one
Yeah.
of the best. Like
Mhm.
you just make your side out good enough
Good enough.
and scoop balls.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
That's so true. A lot of people asking about the AVP Championships, if we know when and where. I haven't heard anything, but I
Saw a
also
date.
could be out of the loop.
No location.
You did?
There's a
Date,
date.
no location.
No location.
Yeah, no.
22nd, 23rd.
We
September.
heard that they were, last I heard they were trying, and but that's been a while for me.
Yeah. So
But
no location, but the
Vegas was the location that I heard thrown out.
Okay.
And I think that'd be ideal. That's where it should be.
What was the date? Are you allowed to say
I
that?
think it's on the website.
Yeah.
I think it's September 22nd, 23rd, which might be during Paris.
So book your flights, people.
That's right before Paris. Right before.
Yeah,
that's
it's right
the weekend
Paris.
before
Okay, Paris
Paris.
next week. Okay,
yeah,
got it.
Paris
Yeah.
before that.
Got it. So, don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Someone asked, why don't they play out for 3rd and 4th on the AVP? And I guess I'll have my own little spin on that. Like, why don't they? And would you, like, I think it's, for me and maybe for a spectator, I think it's cool to, like, be on a podium. The AVP is so different that you only celebrate
Right.
first, kind of. So
Yeah.
what are your guys' thoughts on that? And why don't we play out for 3rd, 4th? And what's your opinion on that?
I think there has to be value in it. Like, it really is extra work for us.
Mm-hmm.
So there has to be more value in it.
Yeah.
If it's like a few $100 or like, I mean, the points will be worth it,
Yeah.
but also like, do the fans really want to watch that? Does it devalue the final maybe
Mhm.
by splitting the audience a little? I don't know. It just seems unnecessary
Mhm.
at this point. If they could put more on the line for it, I think it could be something, but I don't know. Just seems unnecessary.
Yeah. I think if there was like a tradition of
By the time I get
AVP
third or fourth, I'm over it. I'm like, I don't care anymore at this point. World Tour, I definitely want a medal. I get it. Like, the podium thing is cool. But, yeah.
Yeah, I think if there were a tradition of podiums on the AVP,
Right.
I think that would probably make it different, but I don't know if there ever has been.
You don't even... AVP, I think it's kind of cool. If you make... Like, I've made a handful of seconds, right? Like, at some point in my career, that's really cool. But now it's like, literally, win or bust. Nobody remembers that you got second in events. Like, how many seconds did you get? You know, that's not like a legacy thing.
Yeah.
On the World Tour, a little bit more. Like, how many medals do you have?
Yeah.
How many medals? If you have 25 medals, even if there's a lot of silvers and bronze, it's like, it's something. AVP, if I had second and third medals, it'd be
extensive.
It'd be a stack.
Yeah. Yeah. I think with the AVP, I mean, even with how deep the women's side is getting, you would just see so many of the same matchups over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's fair.
Where there wouldn't be, like you mentioned, there has to be value for the players. There also has to be value for the organization.
Audience.
Like the World Tour is so deep that, I mean, you're rarely going to get the same medal matches multiple times. So there's that novelty. And there's that history and tradition of podium being very valuable and medals being very valuable and representing your country. But it would be redundant after a while. And like Theo playing for third or fourth, he'd just be skyballing.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what we did in Phoenix.
Exactly.
I was gonna say Phoenix,
and we were
same
skyballing.
Yeah. And so it'd be like kind of goofy, and so I don't know. Anytime we're asked to play out for third or fourth in a CBVA, I'm like,
you're like, no.
Yeah. No. Good.
Tie for third.
I'm out.
Yeah.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
What adjustments do Sara and Kelly need to make coming up short in Montreal and Atlanta? And do you think they're in a little slump, or are teams just figuring them out?
It's a good slump.
Exactly. Seriously.
It's like it's so tough. Like the World Tour's so gnarly. Like they were up 8-4 and 14-12 on Mel and Brandy.
Yeah.
And Sara had a perfectly in-system side-out opportunity for the match and hits a cut shot. Mel digs 14-14.
Yep.
But if she makes that cut shot, it's a totally different. Mel and Brandy take ninth. It's a totally different story. So like, if their slump is hinging on a point here
Losing
and there
to the team that just won an
to
elite.
the team that won, one of the best teams in the world,
Yeah.
it's a good slump. Like
Right.
I don't know if
Literally.
teams are necessarily figuring them out.
Yeah.
I think that they've played a lot, and that every team plays them so different. Like I watch a lot more women's volleyball than you would, but like some teams will just serve Kelly every ball, and some teams will serve Sara every ball. But like I said, like they're one of the best defensive teams. Defense travels. It's if a slump is their worst finish being a ninth in an elite, and I love that slump.
Yeah. No, because we played them in Atlanta, and their side out was like, I mean, I don't really look at the stats, but we definitely scored points. We scored points, but they scored more. Yeah. Like that's what it came down to. And you know, I was actually very impressed with Kelly's pole digging. Very impressed. And like Sara, like she's everywhere, but Kelly's pole digging defense, pulling line, pulling angle was actually very impressive. And every time they dug a ball, they transitioned. Like that was something that was like super noticeable for us and super frustrating. And like, cause we scored as well, but they just scored more. And so it's interesting. Cause I mean,
I think what they did to you in Atlanta, I think is a perfect example of how Miles and Andy play.
Yeah.
Where you had a 3-point lead the whole time up to like the 28-point switch.
Yeah.
And then they were like, okay. Like they're never worried because their defense, they know that their defense is going to back them up.
Score.
Even if they drop a set, like they're never going to be worried because they're like, well, we're one of the best defensive teams in the world.
Yeah.
Like, we'll figure it out.
100%.
And then they figure it out. And then they won the first set. Like the score is not indicative of how well you played them.
Yeah.
Because they won that set like 21-17 or something.
It was like 17 and 19, I think. Yeah.
And you guys were controlling it. You were up like 10-6. And I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
We could have a match here.
Felt good. And then it's just a couple little things like Sara drops 2 gnarly short serves or like whatever. I mean, Kelly finally gets a block when it freaking matters. I'm like, gosh, I've been tooling her all game. And then we're at 19-16, she gets a block. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
You know, so, yeah. The slump, I don't know.
Yeah. That's high
Maybe
standard
for
a slump.
them, I'm sure they have very high standards. I'm watching Jordan on the sideline losing his mind. Like when I'm watching them play, and he's like so pissed because they were actually losing to Zolani
And Kaylee.
and Kaylee York, their
Zolani
first
Hodel
round.
And Kaylee York. Yeah.
And they were losing their first round, and Jordan's losing his mind. Like, because I'm sure they just were, whether they took them lightly or it was hot or they just took a while to get started. I mean, it wasn't a great showing by them until the 28-point switch. And then they're like, all right, we're not losing.
Yeah.
And that's just, you can do that when you're that good of a team,
That's
I
what
guess.
great teams do.
Yeah.
Right.
It's crazy.
Also, like, I think ninth sounds really bad nowadays because it's a Elite 16.
Yeah.
And, like, the worst you can do is 13th.
Right.
It's like, wow, you got second to last.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but it's like back
You can
in the
be in the
day
Elite
when you got a
16.
ninth,
Yeah.
people are saying, hey, I got top 10.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oof, ninth is
What happened?
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah. Yeah, it was always top 10 finish.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. A couple people actually asked about the FIVB and the relationship. Like, why are there not FIVBs in the U.S.? I'm sure you guys obviously, like, I don't know if you've touched on that ever, but a couple
Money.
questions. Yeah.
We just don't have anyone willing to put up the money.
Yeah, because they were just talking about how well it went in Montreal and, like, how good the fans were and everything like that. And I'm sure it would be great here, but...
It's also more expensive in the volleyball hotbeds in the U.S. Like Cali. Obviously, we should have an FIVB in Cali, probably in Manhattan Beach. You know, like if it was up to us, but like the city's not gonna give them a break and be like, hey, bring the World Tour here. We'll give you a discount on your massive permit and the crazy hotels and all that.
Yeah.
So I think it just comes down to money, and we don't have promoters who are willing to take the risk, pay the fee. But if we're ever going to host them, it's going to be in this next quad when we're coming up on LA Olympics.
Yeah.
Canada, as far as I'm concerned, Canada having these two events is like, yes, we have domestic.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
And Mexico.
And Mexico
Like,
was
between
great.
Canada
And
and
Mexico.
Mexico. Like, they're keeping North America
Yeah.
Dude,
alive.
imagine if we hosted two.
I know.
Oh,
It'd be awesome.
damn.
I
We
know
could
that.
like skip all the other ones.
Yeah.
No, the flight down to La Paz was unbelievable.
Perfect.
Well, even to Edmonton,
Turn
too.
back.
A couple hours. You're like,
Edmonton was great.
oh my gosh, doesn't have a FIVB yet?
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is absolutely ridiculous. Let's see. There are a lot of questions about the
Stream.
streaming.
It's
a
all
lot.
about the stream.
There's a lot. We kind of talked about this before we started, but if Alix made a late run for Paris, who might consider a partner switch?
Well, she's on the entry list for world champs with Haley Harward.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that they'll obviously need a wild card to get in because Alix has she'll probably have frozen points, but the world champs qualification system is your best 6 finishes of 23, and she obviously didn't play in 2023. So they'll need a wild card, and even though we'll have 4 women's teams already qualified, a wild card is exactly that. Like, it doesn't count.
How likely are they to
As far
give
as
a
I
wild
know.
card for world champs?
I mean, she's a gold
I
medalist.
feel like she could,
If anyone's going to get it, I mean, like, because I think Laura Ludwig and Louisa Littman, unless they qualified via European Championships, which I don't know
They took
how
a
that worked.
third.
Yeah.
So I don't know
So
how
they might
it-
be in?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I feel like the wild card would probably be between an Alix and a Ludwig. Mm-hmm. Like, good fan draws, especially Ludwig.
Yeah.
Pretty likely. If an American team's going to get one, which an American team will never get a wild card
Yeah.
ever because we don't host events,
right.
it would be Alix
It would be
Klineman.
Alix. Yeah.
Haley would be scoring. What are your thoughts on the fact that she's just had a baby and is like, I think I can, and seeing the success of the American women right now and still being like, yeah, I think I'm going to take a shot at this.
It is so cool that she recovered that fast.
Yeah, I'm
so stoked
confused.
for her.
I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Some people are just like,
When did she have the baby?
Blessed.
Do you remember, like, month?
Like
June?
right after Delaney. I mean, she was pretty soon after.
June?
June, maybe. June-ish. Yeah, June-ish.
June-ish. That's like
June-ish.
2 months ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's
Good for
awesome
her.
that she feels that good. Because everyone keeps asking Delaney, like, when are you coming back? She's
well,
like,
but like
I'm not gonna jump for a year.
she can't just come back and like
right.
be good. or even really good. She has to like
Yeah.
be what she was with April, basically.
Yeah. And probably even
Without
better 'cause-
April.
Right, because it's Haley. And Haley's good, but she's not April, you know?
Well, no one's April.
Right, no
Right.
one's April.
Literally.
But yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I think, I mean, the women's side, I think, is probably about to blow up. I
Yeah.
mean, you're talking like, because pretty much any team after Betsy and Julia, who actually just jumped Therese and Sara, so Therese and Sara are now the number 4 team.
What are they ranked overall?
7.
No way.
No way.
Wait,
They're
what?
still 7?
Say the rankings.
Yeah. In the Olympic rankings, it's Kelly and
Oh well, Olympic ranks is a little weird.
Olympic
but
ranks are just different. So
until we get to 12.
I don't know what the entry point rankings
Yeah.
is, but Therese and Sara dropped a lot.
Okay, say the Olympic.
The Olympic rankings is number 2 in the world is Kelly and Sarah Hughes. Number 3 in the world is Kristen and Taryn. I think number 5 is Betsy, Julia, and number 7 is Therese and Sponsel.
Oh my God! If they were to qualify like top 8
Yeah,
and not get to go,
crazy.
I won't feel bad for myself anymore for my first 2 quads. Actually, I can't feel bad. I got COVID
Still got
wild
to
carded
go.
in.
Yeah, you were due. The universe owed you.
Sure, whatever.
But so like any team
Oh my
after that
God.
is out. So like
Yeah.
Stockman and Kraft, I don't think can put enough together. Like you and Tony are kind of done. Any other team like Kelly and Haley, they just kept taking 9th and 9th, and they just couldn't get past the 9th place rounds.
Yeah.
So I think that they'll probably either stop the Olympic run or like stay together and try
Yeah.
to keep building,
Mm-hmm.
unless Haley goes with Alix. So I think the women's side's about to be in for shuffle.
Yeah, we'll see. What is how does it? So if they didn't get, like, because obviously if you get a wild card and you get into world champs, that's huge points and everything towards the Olympics. If you don't get into world champs, is there even a chance? Like, if say Alix and Haley were making a run, could they even make a run? Is there even enough events? Well, I guess we don't have the schedule for next
Right.
year, so we don't know.
I think like literally yes, that's possible. But like
you'd have to go and win.
Yeah, they're gonna go
everything.
like literally podium every event kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is just like not realistic.
Yeah. And it's so different on the women's side because we just talked about how stacked that is.
Yeah.
For the men, maybe you could switch.
I mean,
Because
Phil
there's-
did it. Phil
Phil
kind of
did
did at this point, he kind of did it.
Yeah.
And
If
pulled it
someone
off.
asked here, are there any men's teams thinking about partner switches?
I mean, we have 3 teams
top
realistically in the
4
Olympic race.
wouldn't make sense for the top 4, right?
Yeah. And there's a lot of questions in there, like if Taylor Crabb's going to split with Sander. I don't think so. But
Someone asked that.
What would be
here as
the-
well,
What would be the
I don't know.
switch?
I don't know where anybody would go.
Yeah.
So I think the men's side, like 5 down. Same with the women. Could switch, could not. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't consider any team like not in the top of the U.S. I don't consider anyone an actual team. You're just 2 players playing together for a couple months, and then you'll probably split.
Yeah.
Right. That's fair.
That's fair. Who's Jim?
My dad.
Your dad.
Yeah.
He asked
I
how
thought that was the question. It's like,
You're like,
wow, someone really.
wow. I figured it was your dad, but I wasn't 100% confident.
Yeah.
He asked how important is communication on the court as compared to pure physical abilities.
What do you think?
Communication is huge. It's
Huge.
literally like we've set certain standards for our team, like, or values, I should say, of our team, and communication is one of them. Like one of those values that, like, no matter if we're in a high or low, like, we got to make sure we're checking that box. It varies with different partnerships. That's why I'm like always try to avoid partner switches, because you have to reset that communication barrier. But it's the difference between being great and terrible. Like, it's that big of a thing. Communicating between your partner, just like literally, where are you going to be on the court? Where am I going to be covering? That's like the easy to see value there. But going through the stresses and the highs and lows of season, making sure your partner knows where you're at physically, mentally, and then communicating that with your coach. Hey, how can I make you better in these in these difficult moments, or how can I help you in these difficult moments, and vice versa. coach, like, this is hurting me in these moments, this is helping me, and that's changing as you're changing as an athlete. Everything's evolving. So the communication is the key to growth, and also just like maintaining a high level throughout a season.
Yeah.
I mean, it's same as a relationship, right? Friends, wives, husbands. It's just a necessary thing.
Yeah. I've worked with Burek for New Orleans and Hermosa, and happened to get 7th in both, which are pretty good finishes for me. And Burek, both times he's like dealing with pretty much like shotgun marriage partnerships.
Right.
Like me and Avery had, I think, 2 days to get ready for New Orleans, and then me and JD had 3 days in Hermosa to get ready. And Burek, he before we like passed a single ball or set a single ball, he was like, "What do you want your partner to say when you're in a rut?"
Right.
And what he just talked about the communications in different situations, and it was so eye-opening that I'd never considered talking about that with a partner before. Because
then it's so different per partner.
And when I was with Avery, I was like, well, when I'm in a rut, like, I want to know something, like, what are they doing schematically? Like, why do I keep hitting into this? And Avery's like, that's good that you told me that, because I would have never thought of that. I was like, what do you want me to tell you? He's like, you're most kids. He's like, just tell me to shut the fuck out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have said that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But it was so helpful, because then Avery, he like, in New Orleans, I could see him just wanting to tell me to like, dude, just side out.
Yeah.
And he was like,
I'm like that too.
Yeah.
Though, like with Trevor, it was natural because he's such like a hard ass that you could tell he's thinking it.
Yeah.
And it puts that pressure on me. And like, okay, like I like that.
Yeah.
But if you come and like try to support me or help me, it's like, I don't need help. I can get out of this myself. Stop trying to help me. Like, that's how like my whatever it is goes. Because I'm like, I'm going to get myself and us out of it. Like, I'm not going to be the reason for us to lose or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just the whole partner. Now I'm playing with Cam. He's way nicer, dude. He's just not going to do the Trevor. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So that's like part of the communication. Actually, we're working on it.
Yeah.
It's like two nice guys doesn't always work. 'Cause I never ride my partners really. I'm always like, I'm not worried.
Yeah.
You got the next one kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he's the same way. I'm like, all right, well, we got to figure it.
Yeah.
It might sound like the perfect dynamic from afar. Like, oh yeah, you just want people supporting each other all the time. Like, it's not always. You don't want the same personalities sometimes.
Right.
You need like the positive and negative energies sometimes. And not negative meaning literally like saying negative things, but the opposites that attract kind of vibe.
Because it blew my mind. I was like, if you told me that, I'd be like, well, I am trying to side out.
Right.
Like, just tell me what they're doing so I can do it.
That's not logical at all.
Just give me the
It's not what you're saying. It's just what it does to you that matters. Exactly.
I forget who I was talking to about this recently, and like just watching Evan, I'm like, what? Like, does he even hear what I'm saying? Like when I'm just cheering, like, and I even asked Troy, I'm like, is there anything that you don't want me to say? Like, 'cause I don't talk much when they play. I'll just be like, let's go boys, whatever. And he's like, no. And I forget who I was talking about. Maybe it was Evan's mom. I don't know. And we were just talking about like how everyone always just yells like, side out. Yeah. It's like, no shit, we're trying to side out. Like, what do you think we're trying to do? Yeah. And it's like, but that's just, or this one right here. It's like, yeah, I'm trying to get this one right here. The
fan communication is a whole different thing.
And it's so
especially
funny.
When it's from family. Yes. I have my things. I don't like coaching from the sidelines. Yeah. Like coaching from fans or sidelines or anyone, I'm like, because now you're making me have to decide to not listen to you. Yeah. And like, jump serve, rip a jump serve or something. Like, now I have to not. Yeah, skyball is like, now you make me feel like I'm letting you down for just doing my job. You know, like when it's stupid to do that in this situation. Yeah. Or even with my coaching, like I've had to, because we haven't had our coach on the road all season, so we're like learning as we go or relearning. Yeah. And it's like, dude, I don't need you to tell me what to do specifically in certain situations, because I'm a field player. Like I want to go toss that serve up and kind of decide how it's sitting on my shoulder and how I want to hit it. But if you tell me what I have to do, And I'm like, but I kind of want to do this here. Now I'm hesitating.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, give me cues and things like, hey, these might be available, like options kind of thing, but don't tell me specific. Hey, like the worst thing for me is, dude, hey, your high line's open. Just use a pokey short over or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just
literally in my head, okay, go up, do a pokey. Didn't work. What now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you can't tell me to do one thing.
Yeah.
And just like, you can tell me that it's open and that they're playing this and like, let me go feel it. And if it's there, boom.
Yeah.
But like, when you tell me to do something,
And then it
hey, hit a
doesn't work.
cutty here, bro.
Yeah.
Do not tell me that.
Yeah.
Rip a serve down the line. It's like, dude, if my toss is out to one way and you want me to go hit that line and I was just going to audible and do something else. Now in my mind, I feel like I'm not doing what you told me.
You're hesitant. Yep.
And now I'm playing the play being like, damn, like, I wonder if he knows that I didn't mean to do it. Or,
Yeah.
Not that it matters, but like, it's that much of a psychological battle. So yes, communication's important.
Yeah. Good question, Pops.
No, that's a good one. I had to give my mom a shut the F up this weekend. She's the only person I hear. And I hear it's like the negative, like the negative, like you're shitting the bed. Like, what are you doing? And she played, so she gets it, but she doesn't really like, does she really get it? Does she really know, like, I did this? Like, she's on the end line. Can she see where the set was in relation to the net? Does she know that, like, that was a trap set against Pavin and all I could do was pokey recite? Like, do people really know? Or did I miss high hands, like, do people really know that kind of stuff? And I was because I have Mike we had just used Mike Plachek for the first time. And he's in the box telling us certain things. And then I hear my mom saying certain things. And I'm like, the fact that I have to, like you were saying, like, actively try and
I can't do that.
Not listen to her. And she's the only person I can hear. I mean, I hear people, but she's the only person that irritates me. And I gave her a shut the F up against Kelly and Sara, and I didn't hear a peep after that. And all the people below her,
because they're so into it too, that they're like, they're trying to implement. Can I just give a little something to help? Yeah. And it's like, nope. Yeah. Yeah. My parents are amazing. My whole life is like, literally, they don't even cheer, like, positive energy or whatever.
And support. Yeah, they're there to
support. I mean, but they've never like overstepped on a coach. Like, I've never felt like I need to win or my parents are gonna, like, it's been very like nice. Yeah. And I've thought about it lately. Like, that's probably helped me a lot. Like, no, because there's just never been pressure on me. Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's harder. If you're a fan, it's like, yeah, okay, you're yelling, we don't care about you. But when we care about that person and then we hear their voice more, and it's like, it's just, you just can't be involved unless you're in all the film sessions, all the pregame talks, you were at all the practices, you've seen how long I've been on the road, you know how stressed out I am right now. So true. If you don't know all those things, then you can't speak on it. Yeah. You're just not in the arena.
Your D's good with all of that?
Oh, she's the greatest.
She's just the greatest with everything.
Yeah, huh? She won't say a word for the most part. Like, she'll say encouraging things here and there. But afterwards, she'll just say, like, if you want to talk about it, I'm happy to talk about it. If not, it's totally fine. And so, because, like,
she knows how she would like to be talked to. Yeah.
And she was in it. Like, she's a better volleyball player than I am, so she knows, like, all the things that she observed.
She's like, I have these notes. Come get them when you want. Yeah. On your time. Yeah. That's how I like it. Yeah. The feedback.
And I always take a day, and I'm like, what'd you see?
I'm ready.
And everything she says is gold.
Yeah.
You need to take the time, though. Me and Ev have had to do, like, well, he needs to, because he's very harsh with his words sometimes, and, like, or he's just very matter of fact. Like, there's no sugarcoating it. It's like, you literally couldn't side out when you ran out of the middle. Like, that was so stupid. I'm like, I'm offended. Oh my gosh. So it's turned into, like, because I'll just, like, do you want advice or do you want me just to listen? Yeah. Because sometimes I just want to vent about whatever, and I just need him to say, you're just so great. Yeah, you're such a good volleyball player. Versus
he'll learn.
Yeah, that was terrible. Yeah, you sucked at that.
One of the biggest skills in the world is listening. Yeah, it really a lot of things just come back to just listen, people. in so many ways.
Yeah. We call that the boyfriend learning curve. I had to get that with Tori.
I am very happy that Gabby. I'm always happy that Gabby's not a volleyball player.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, there's sometimes I ask for advice, and then he gives me advice, and it's not what I wanted to hear,
Right.
or it was like too soon. So it's like it's technically my fault that I asked for it, but or I'm just too sensitive because the game just happened. So it's we're learning. We've gotten a lot better about it.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. He probably doesn't even want to hear my advice. I mean, the men's game is so different. Like you guys have so many. Like for me, like he could give me advice on the women's side, but for me to give him advice on sometimes I give him defensive stuff, but you guys have to take more risks defensively, I think, versus running ones and just reading and reacting. Like you guys need to probably run some more plays.
Or we're
Depends
just
on who you're
not,
playing.
we're just not good at listening, taking advice.
Fair. That's true. That too.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry for the loaded answer. There's a lot to unpack on that one. Communication, get good at it with everything. Do you feel social media posts are more valuable to sponsors or to fans? And this is kind of, I mean, yeah, I think that's a good one. I think it says Frisco. I think that's Evan's sponsor, the one who makes the cool board shorts.
Oh, cool.
I could be wrong.
Well, if it's Evan's sponsor, hugely
you
valuable
tell
for
us.
sponsors.
Hugely
tell
valuable.
us.
Exactly.
Worth hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
The fans should come first, right? Because you're technically building a brand that's for the fans to watch and be entertained by. And then because they're entertained by you or they have an attraction to you, then they're going to buy the sponsor's products, right?
Yeah.
So that should be the priority, but let's be honest, no beach volleyball players have professionals running their social media accounts, people that are studying how to do this, content creators, and like we're lucky if we get a good Frito or, any of these guys to throw us some good clips to post.
Yeah. The reels are like
But
the big
there's
thing right now.
there's a massive art to social media game, and we're just scratching the surface of it. I'm doing it ourselves, like I guess you could say as amateurs in that world, not professional influencers. But I think the balance is to make the core of it, 80% of it unbranded, and then slide in like your sponsors here and there, let people know who's supporting you and whatnot. And then obviously like you're going to wear the product or whatever it is, subtly implement it. But like I'm not following someone if half their tags are like, this is water. Look, I'm holding this water right now.
Right.
Just like a picture of them with a water bottle by their face. Like, nah, I'm out.
Yeah.
It's not bringing me any value.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's like you said, if you're a fan of the athlete or human being first, and then it's a product that is genuine to them. Like I legitimately use athletic greens every freaking morning.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm never sick.
I legitimately use Wilson.
every day.
My whole life.
Yeah. And it's like, I think we've done a good job.
I legitimately
of
read
getting
that book.
sponsors.
I was reading
we
it
did.
last night.
Read it this morning.
Legitimately reading, going through it. Like I just needed like a good nugget.
Yeah.
And I was just looking to find one title head that caught my attention.
Yeah.
Got a few actually.
Good.
That's good.
That's what it's there for.
That's what it's there for.
It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
It's a pretty cool book.
Yeah. You can get on Amazon.
Team
Sponsored.
sponsored.
That's how you plug right there.
Yeah.
See what we did right there?
Uh-huh.
That was genuine.
That was inevitable. We couldn't. But I think if you have an athlete who is genuine about the product that helps them be whoever they are, then that's where you get like a really good, perfect combo.
Yeah.
But I think you can tell when someone isn't really aligned with what they're putting out there. I'm like, that's a swing and a miss.
Well, also when you create the content, like make a piece of content and have that product in it, not the post is the product.
Right.
That's kind of the key, which is easier said than done. But
yeah,
that's what I try to do. If it's like
Your e-bike. The e-bike one was good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. You're riding to
go get my name on the pier.
practice to get my name on the pier. Exactly.
It's just
Yeah.
well, e-bike ad.
It wasn't just me, a picture, like sitting there on the bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I want a SANDCAST
Bike.
tattoo.
Speaking of, I want one. On the bike.
No, I want a SANDCAST tattoo if you have more. I would wear it.
They're right up
I
there.
would wear it. I always
Boom.
notice you
We need to
wearing
get
it,
new ones
and
made.
then I just always forget to ask.
Yeah, how have we not given you any?
All right, done.
We got a
Right.
stack right
Get them
there.
up there.
Promoting on
Also,
my Instagram.
I ran out this weekend. That's why I wasn't wearing it, people. I know you guys were looking on the Bally's live. And,
all those fans that were able to get on.
where's his tat?
Someone else asked why your hand was taped up.
I sprained my thumb pretty bad blocking Taylor in Hermosa. Had to throw that in there.
Which
Got
Taylor?
the block. Oh, Crab, yeah. Actually, I think I posted the video where you just see me not celebrate at all and just put my hand on my side, just like,
Ow.
I know that feeling. It was pretty bruised the day after. I went and got an X-ray, bad enough to where I needed to get an X-ray. And it's still sore. We're 4 weeks out. Still, like, the joint's really tender, so I have like a plastic on the back of it, and I just strap it to it so that it won't hyperextend again. It's pretty limiting, but like I can still do everything, so
Yeah.
it's all good. But definitely something I'm gonna have to tape for about 6 weeks.
Oh,
I was wondering on that. Looked like Sander.
It was scary because
Yeah.
I went to the tent after, and it was like I probably could have played in the final, but like it was kind of messed up.
Yeah.
And then the doctor kind of was like scaring me. He's like pressing on. I'm like, God damn, that hurts. He's like, oh, that hurts. All right, well, we got to go get an X-ray. It's like, well, I leave tomorrow for Portugal, so this is great. So I literally got an X-ray the next morning and then flew to Portugal. But it's completely working. So unfortunately, I don't have any excuses for not winning. Darn it. No, I'm very happy that it's at least working.
Yeah.
My daughter's teasing
Nia's
us.
been peeking in. How long we got?
What's our time at there, Trey?
Hour 6, guys.
Hour 6.
Nia.
We want to make a special appearance? Guest
Or
appearance?
Bentley.
The king.
Yeah. Nia, you got to show your
You don't wanna
cute
go?
outfit. Her outfit is so cute. Come here, Nia.
You're not going to show
Here's a
off.
for fun question. What's your favorite post-tournament cocktail?
Ooh.
Some kind of seltzer.
Seltzer.
Don't care what.
Keep it light.
Okay.
Some kind of seltzer.
Yeah.
High noon. And a big high noon
noons
guy.
are great.
Big high noon guy during 6-man last weekend.
How was 6-man?
It's fun. 6 is fun.
Yeah.
And, I'm not like, everyone's like, oh, it's 6-miss.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's cool.
Fun weekend.
It's fun to see everyone.
Fuds or 6-man? For someone who's done both.
cheaper.
Well, you've done both. Like you've
Yeah.
like been there and you know a lot of people down in the South, and
Yeah.
then you've done this and you live here. So I think like for someone like me who's grown up here, like that would be more fun than Fuds.
Yeah.
I've never been to Fuds, and for Evan, I think Fuds will always be more fun for him because
Yeah.
it's just
What if it's a random person?
yeah.
You get to go to one. A person from Hawaii.
Fuds.
Fuds over
think so?
6-man.
Yeah.
Also,
'Cause there's-
6-man's not what it used to be.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Fuds
fraction.
is like triple the size of 6-man.
Oh, is
Easily.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's that big?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because 6-man
Wow.
is just like, you have 6s.
I was thinking
That's it.
opposite. I was
Fuds is
thinking
like a full
6-man would be
week.
bigger.
Fuds is like a full week
Yeah.
of like doubles, co-ed doubles,
Really?
co-ed quads,
Like,
yeah. It's
You
like
have
a whole
legitimately
thing.
like a mile and a half of courts.
Oh.
Full.
It's like that. Where is it
And
again? Florida?
It's in Fort Walton Beach, Florida.
Yeah.
And you can, like, the main court is next to the boardwalk of like a triple decker
Dude, why
bar.
don't they put some money in the finals and like put a real event on?
It's well,
Some
what's
of the best
amazing
event here.
is that they don't have to.
Right, that's true.
And so the tournament director, Mike
Why would
Manick,
he?
is
Yeah.
probably just like, like, why would he?
Yeah, that's a good point. Same
Like-
as Seaside, right?
Yeah.
Like some of the best crowds.
Yeah. But Seaside is expensive to get to,
Right.
which Seaside, I feel bad for Seaside because the AVP pulled out of Seaside. They canceled the tour series.
Oh.
And then they put the Chicago qualifier on the day of Seaside.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
And so Seaside is
Living.
pissed.
Yeah.
Oh, that
They,
sucks.
they're not even using Wilson.
That's such a great sport
Using
too. For
Oh
I
my
mean, such a great
gosh.
event for the sport.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
That is a bummer.
I need to do Fuds. It's a bucket
Yeah.
lister.
Yeah, that'll be on the SANDCAST
25?
tour.
That RV
Yeah.
tour. Yeah, I'm trying to picture the wrap. I'm thinking maybe a big yellow bus. Maybe we get a school bus.
Maybe.
We wrap it.
Oh, man.
Your sponsor logo on it. Pay for the gas. Anyway.
What's your favorite post tournament
Oh,
cocktail?
cocktail?
I know, I kind of went off on it.
I usually,
I got excited.
I don't know. I used to like just like beers lately my stomach's been bugging me after tournaments. I don't know what's happening. So beers have been too heavy. Actually into old fashions.
Nice.
Lately. Hold the simple syrup.
Yeah.
I don't need this. But yeah, I don't know. Whatever the night.
I think it depends
it's
on win
different.
or lose.
It's the vibe, you know.
What city you're in?
Do you have another event coming up? Is it end of the year vibes?
Yeah.
Is there a good after party? Which is never the case anymore. I think Chicago is probably the best party now, or Manhattan.
Or Denver. Tom Davenport he treats the players so well in Denver.
Yeah.
He throws a players'
great.
party every year.
Yeah.
Gets them free drinks, free Konas this year.
He's the only one now.
Yeah.
He was
he's
awesome.
Man of the year.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well,
one more? We good?
I don't know.
Anything left?
I mean, we can always answer questions on the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a good stopping point.
Good stopping
And
point.
on a positive.
We'll end on a positive. Good
No
cocktails.
more complaining about.
We're still looking for to dial in an alcohol sponsor, so hopefully we can have our favorite cocktails on the podcast.
If you want your alcohol to be featured on this podcast, reach out to us.
Find us anywhere.
Find us wherever. Buy our book.
Anywhere on the beach.
Seth, good to have you back. Good to have everyone back.
Yeah.
We haven't done this in a
Love
long
being
time.
here. It always feels like every time I show up, I'm like, I feel like I haven't been here in a long time.
Just been holding down the fort while you guys have been world traveling.
Appreciate it.
How's the baby?
So fat.
So fat.
Yeah.
It's
He's
funny how
awesome.
that's like a compliment with kids.
Yeah.
Like, oh, fat. Oh, nice and healthy.
Yeah, I mean, he's off the charts. He is not fitting in 12-month-old clothes.
And how many months?
He's 18 weeks. 3.5 months.
18.
That's
He's a
large.
hoss, dude. I went to put him in this onesie I picked up at Fiesta Hermosa.
Hostin.
Austin. I love that. Add that to his many nicknames.
Hostin's on.
I was like, D, I feel like I'm choking him. Is this like the wrong onesie? She's like, no, that's a 12-month-old onesie. It's like, oh.
Oh my God.
That
is gnarly.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Dang.
Yeah, he's
to
great
see
though.
it.
Good.
He's starting to smile and laugh. It's awesome.
He's turning into a
There's
little
Oh, that's
human.
the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a hit at 6-man. Was just
Oh.
surrounded by beautiful women. We're gonna have to humble you down, kid.
Yeah, exactly. This isn't the real world. This isn't real life.
Yeah. So on that positive note, we're all out.
Shoots.